Durag Wisdom here, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Earth Date Y2K 21.01.28. The music you're hearing in the background, if you can hear it, is the music of Antonio Vivaldi from the Baroque period of music, and this is his oratorio stuff, Glorias. Special note, I will be going on a sort of a hiatus soon. I will let everyone know what this is and other helpful information about my Durag Wisdom program. It will come under the title Important Information for My Subscribers. I will also make sure to answer my two latest message boards, as well as this one that I am creating, this broadcast, either before or soon after the information broadcast. I want to thank all of you for your comments and for your support. Durag Wisdom is not going away. Information to follow. Now this is a special update because I do not want to give you what they call quote-unquote fake news. I would not want to mislead you in any way. So this is a special update. Prune-faced McConnell gave up on his filibuster demands for now because Schumer would not give in. Pruneface is also aware that there are two conservative Democrats, Manchin and Sinema, would not at this juncture vote to get rid of the filibuster. And if you want to understand about this whole issue, check out how they've taken advantage of the filibuster. It's not like Jimmy Stewart in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Now the Democrats will be able to form the committees as they are legally allowed because McConnell gave in and there's a power sharing thing. I thought about whether or not to broadcast this topic since it is now out of date. So when you hear this thing about what I'm going to say, remember it. What I'm telling you now supersedes it. I had only decided to broadcast this because although it looks like the Democrats are going to finally wield their power, as any Trumpist Republican would do and could do against their adversaries, I still do not trust them. If the Democrats had a slightly smaller tent, conservatives like Manchin and Sinema would not even be considered to be members in good standing of the liberal, quote-unquote, Democratic Party. So we must all still be wary. So here's today's topic, outdated or whatever it is. Tragically, the Democrats are at it again in President Biden's quest to unify the nation. And I love saying President Biden. He and the Democrats are headed to a monumental loss, believe it or not, 2 years from now. They are deluded as if it were the 1990s or earlier. They falsely believe that they can achieve bipartisanship with this Republican Party. Sadly, it will never be true because so far only 11 or so Republicans in the Senate support the second impeachment of Trump, and most of them will probably acquit him, again, to our detriment. The continued belief that Democrats will achieve parity and cooperation with Republicans is like they are bringing a knife to a gunfight or a wet noodle to Coition. In either case, they arrive with impotency and could leave with nothing but our country once again in the hands of totalitarians. It is just wonderful, wonderful that Joe Biden wants to unite our country. I want our country to be united. I may not agree with conservatives, but we could work together. It is just holy that Senate Democrats are being respectful of the Trumpists in the Senate. The only problem is that it seems like loser Mitch McConnell is still running the Senate in spite of the Democratic wins. Democrats need to organize committees that they are supposed to be in charge of, which they're doing now, as you know. But surprise! Nowadays, McConnell and his Trumpists still control these committees as if the election never happened. Up until that point, which I told you before. Something is seriously wrong here, folks. Because when Republicans are in charge, they take full effing advantage of it. This Republican Party is a spawn of the Orwellian family of totalitarianism. They know how to use the power of the big lie, of rumor, and of propaganda. Frankly, I don't believe that the Democrats have enough votes in the Senate to convict the fascist dictator Trump, former president of the United States. So he can't run again. The Senate is tied, after all, this time, and you need 2/3 of that body to convict. They don't have the 2/3. So guess what? That Nazi's going to probably run again, or a member of his cursed family. Again, I do not believe that the Democrats have the votes for conviction. I wish they did. It is bad enough that the Democratic Party is fearful of full progressivism. It is also tragic that the big tent of the Democratic Party includes the likes of Joe Manchin. Why the F doesn't Manchin just become a Trumpist or a traditional Republican? It is because of Joe Manchin in part that Democrats will never be able to get rid of the filibuster, which in this era ensures that the minority party can rule, can cause trouble. Remember when Obama had a Democratic House and Senate to work with? And in a matter of 2 short years, the Democrats lost one of those houses, and then in President Obama's second term, the Democrats lost both houses, so that Obama had nothing but conflict? The Democrats really set us all up. Do they really have an ideology as the Trumpist Republicans? Are they liberal? Are they conservative? Are they pro or anti-corporations? When Republicans have power, they use it and they abuse it. But when Democrats have it, they might as well be holding a wet noodle that drops and wiggles uselessly. The more we know about what's going on inside of the political arena, the better off we're going to be. But here's the point. If the situation was reversed and the Democrats were back in their familiar minority territory, having just lost the majority, they would willingly and with smiles give up their committees to the incoming majority. And there happen to be good sports too, not like the Trumpists. Michael Steele, former head of the RNC, said it this way, I paraphrase: "Understand that you cannot work with these extremists. Call McConnell's bluff and simply take the power and wield it." And so far, with my update, I told you, it seems that Schumer is doing that. If the Democratic Party does not take this advice from a Republican, no less, they are destined to lose in Y2K24 and of course in Y2K22, where the Senate will end up in the hands once again of McConnell. We cannot afford to lose any election from here on because we have only one functioning party right now. And that party that acts within the rule of constitutional law, the Democratic Party. Until Republicans such as George Will, Steve Schmidt, Richard Painter, or even that idiot John Boner wrest control of the Republican Party from the fascist Trumpists, we can't afford to play nice with them. And up until McConnell caved to Schumer, they were making too much nice with them. We've actually witnessed in our lifetime an actual insurrection to overthrow our constitutional Democratic Party and replace it with a totalitarian dictatorship. A fascist Nazi-like dictatorship. And this has happened before. When a totalitarian group tries to take over a democratic republic and fails. It happened with Hitler. And his group came back from disgrace. They even threw that creep in prison. And rose up to the top in power in Germany. 74 million registered voters went for Trump and his criminal, white, supremacist, fascist regime. And they are still out there standing by. And you have to remember, it was a combination of Democrats and classic Republicans that brought Biden to victory. We don't have the Republican Party of old here. We have a fascist, totalitarian party we're dealing with. They can't ever win. The Democratic Party, especially while it wields the power, has absolutely no business pussyfooting around with these teabagger, Trumpist creeps.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
Yes!
The President of the United States.
And
yes, baby!
Will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Congratulations, Mr. President, and no more Donald Dumbbell Fascist Nazi Trump! Yeah, baby! Yes! Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, and may we have the best possible luck and the best possible great, wonderful, fantastic things to happen in this country that we haven't had happen in 4 freaking years. Congratulations to our new president.